Oh, hello. Got caught up in doing stuff and yeah, just forgot to start the stream. Well, welcome. Hey Ian, hey Elfbait. Happy Monday as it were. It's August 1st as I'm recording this, so that means if my calculations are correct, and they are, I believe, it is August 1st, which means that the 31 days of RPG generators that was boy super generously thrown together by Duncan underscore chaos is complete. Ian says, at least I wasn't picking my nose. Yes, exactly. At least thank goodness for that, because goodness knows of all the gaffes and goofs I've done on this channel, I don't think I have yet been picking my nose. So thank goodness for small favors. All right. I don't have any show notes. Don't have anything going on. Oh, I did. I think I might do a so if you haven't followed it, Mid Journey's had a couple of updates, at least one that was fairly beefy, and I know that I think they opened up the beta invitation, so you don't need to wait terribly long. I think someone forgive me if I'm wrong. I'm still waiting to get into Dolly 2, which is the other big image generator, though that one's not as I don't think it's as generous with Mid Journey as Mid Journey. Whatever you want to say about it, good, bad, the ugly, the existential threat that it might represent, and I don't I can't even really argue with that. There, the terms for usage and what you could do with it once you get through the trial images, and you do have to pay kind of a subscription, but I find the subscription well worth it, at least for my usage. I think Dolly 2, it's a lot more constricted in terms of how much you get, what you can do, all this sort of things. But I do want to mess around with it. Anyhow, we're not talking about that right now, but that's what I was that's what I was caught up doing is working on some variations of stuff, but I will save that for another stream because I have refined my techniques some, so maybe I can do something about that. We're back. We got 31. We got the full list here. I'm trying to remember where we stopped. I know we didn't get to. We got to Wadabu. Maybe we stopped there. I know we didn't get. Anyway, I did the stream, and then was it the next day or that afternoon? He came out with another generator, but I hadn't gotten that far. Did we do maps of Kassoon? That sounds like maybe we did, but let's. I don't. Did we do this one? I think we might have. Someone let me know if we didn't. I think I want to say we did it. If I didn't do that one, apologies, Kassoon. Oh yeah, because we must have because we did space map tools. All right, so let's just go straight to right. I'm now remembering. Okay, let's go straight to the cave generator. In the I guess it's pretty much what hashed outlines, aka the Dyson logos style. Is there anything? Can we do anything? New caves, grid, shape, display. Ooh, what stones? Oh, I see. Okay, so we turn stones on. Those just little things. And we can get doors or turn off doors. So it seems like if you turn on doors and it sticks doors just about everywhere. And then there's the exit. Ian says the cave generator is pretty bare bones so far. Yeah, it seems like it. It does indeed seem like it. And I thought he was moving all the stuff to GitHub. I guess this one maybe is not there yet. Let's just do a couple more. So yeah, I mean, look, there's nothing wrong with it. Ooh, I kind of like, I don't know, there's something kind of nice about having two entrances right next to each other. I wouldn't mind having some extra exits. Maybe mark one as an entrance. So yeah, I think, I'm looking at it like it'd be great if you're going to have just I don't know, put like a double arrow if this is the one single entrance and exit or something, or have, yeah, you could come through. I guess they're caves. You don't really think of them maybe as having a different entrance and exit. And they haven't numbered them yet either. Numbered the rooms. So yeah, it's pretty bare bones. All right, it's brand new. It's bare bones. I mean, the only thing I would say is that given the other generators that they've made, it's kind of weird, I feel like, to almost have this one starting from scratch, because I would have thought you could have leveraged a lot of the things you have already, like all the stuff for your dungeon generators, and leverage a lot of that to start a little bit further developed than this. But hey, it's a free caves. They look good. I don't have any complaints. I haven't seen any interesting features yet. It doesn't even look like we have stuff like underground streams or even just puddles and pools, those kind of interesting things. There doesn't seem to be yet any kind of mixing of more say natural stone with worked stone. So you'd have to add that stuff in yourself. But hey, still, it's fun. That's cool, Wannabu. Thumbs up. Oh, you know what? Let me go in and I don't think I thumbed up the original post. Thumbs up. Map tool list at D&D compendium. What is this? For a list that keeps updated with free and paid map making tools. I'm not going to go too far in this list because we already have a list. This one is good because it separates out your free and paid tools, which is just nice to know. It's amazing how many tools there are. I'll dump this into the chat. Oops. I don't know why I get that stuff. What is that? I'm trying to do that. Let's see. This is the D&D compendium map tool list. You get free. There you go. So if anybody wants, there is the list. I'm gonna move myself up here, or should I go up here? Or should I go down here? Oh, there's no good spot for me. Okay. I'll hide it. There we go. If you want to get back to this list, maybe we'll come back to this at the end if we have time. I can't imagine we'll have time, but who knows? Quick hex map generator. Well, you know I'm into that. Have we seen this one before? I don't know. All right, well, let's take a look. This one's just an image. Oh, this is from Shield Ice. Okay. Got the glasses on. So we would roll a d6 on each corresponding hex location to determine style. What does that mean? Roll a d6 on each corresponding hex location to determine style. Maybe if I say it a few more times. It's okay. We've got a D. It looks like this is a D20 list over here. So if we have, okay, let me try to work this out. This is always, Shield Ice puts out really excellent stuff, but sometimes I think in people's rush, and I get it, this is a single image, you're trying to get it all on one page, or in this case, two facing pages that you've printed out as sort of a single flat image. You are limited in terms of space, but it seems like we're getting things. So really, it's like, okay, roll d20 for random hex generation. All right, so I think that's what you really want to do first, is you want to roll the d20, and that gives you. I think I kind of wish they would have labeled these rows, because that would have been helpful also. So it looks like we have, for the types of hexes you can have, some type of settlement, some type of fortification, or I guess maybe large settlement, fortification, medium settlement, small settlement, and then we've got forest, mountains, grasslands, hills, river, desert, sea, swampland, snow, jungle, volcano, cave, fissure, fungal forest, crystal plains, or a dungeon. Well, one thing is if you're rolling d20s for each thing, you could potentially get all kinds of stuff kind of up against each other. Some of these are a little bit odd because you could get snowy flats or blizzards. And I don't know what blizzard is in terms of terrain. Is it just that there's kind of just a never-ending blizzard here? I'm not sure what that means. So keep in mind with this is you're going to get, I think for terrain, I prefer some kind of either drunkard's walk or some kind of I'm trying to think what the term I'm trying to use is. Something where it's weighted in a way that you don't just get really rapid changes for nothing. So in this one, I could roll, I could roll get a capital city right next to a volcano, right next to a fissure, right next to swampland, right next to the sea, right next to a desert, right next to an ocean. You can get all these different kinds of things all together. And I think I like it a little bit better for if I'm going to generate hexes randomly and I'm not using an app where I'm just going to press a button, it's going to give me a whole bunch of stuff at once. I think for me, I prefer it being a little bit more opinionated. If I'm starting in temperate grassland, not to go straight to tundra, not to go straight to jungle or something like that, where it kind of forces you to kind of be in your, I don't know what biome, environment, climate, be in your main climate, and then you have to kind of gradually change. Though of course there are always exceptions, and it's fantasy, so you want to even embrace those exceptions. But I don't want it to be too much of here's a volcano, now we're in a blizzard, now we're in I don't know, a rainforest kind of situation. So with this one, we just have to keep in mind that you could end up with a really crazy assortment of hexes. If you're going for something Gonzo or Wonderland or something like that, then hey, this will probably work a charm for you. But I if you're wanting to be more things to be more grounded, then you might want to limit somehow figure out a way if you're going to use this particular generator to steer it where you want to go. You do get some nice icons that go around with it, which is cool. And then what else is? Oh, those are just numbered, and they're just telling us what all those are. Icons are nice. What's number 11? Water, lake, or sea. Okay. And 7, which looks like all these tentacles coming out. Okay, grassland / pastoral, as opposed to 14, which is jungle. All right, that one doesn't really read as jungle to me. It almost reads more like grassland, but cool. It's all good. Well, good job. Shield ice. Let's go back. And that one's just directly in Reddit if you end up searching that one out. If you're looking for it, that's where you're going to find it. Where was that one? All right, that was that. Quick hex map generator. Is that what I just did? Yes, I think that was it. Now, map generators for fantasy cities and towns. Put an upvote. Equal ideas, random city map generator. Another city generator by Oscar Stahlberg. Town map generator from Kassoon. We did covered Wadaboo's generator. Chaotic Shiny city map generator. And then we've got a couple of other ones. FantasyTownGenerator.com and then the Don John's Classic Dungeon Generator. And also Dave's Mapper. Dave's Mapper doesn't get enough love, I don't think. But it's got a lot of good stuff in it. All right, first let's go to Inkwell Ideas. Simple Town. I think I've said it before. Of all the kind of generator, the generator I find myself looking for the least is a random city map generator. I don't mind a random city generator giving me some things like who's in charge, factions, maybe some cultural interesting things about the town, and maybe the resources. That I'm kind of down for. I don't feel like I need the map. I'm more interested in here are the districts. Maybe here's which districts connect to each other and some other features. And if there's some kind of pictorial image that can help clarify that, that's great. But I don't find myself ever needing a street map to the kind of specificity, the sort of details that you see here, where you can say, okay, you're walking down this thing and I'm going left and I'm going right. Like, I just don't ever seem to require those. But maybe if I was running a real city urban crawl and that was the main focus, something like Tolus, where the whole thing's in the city, then maybe that will become more of a thing, where it become more important and it would reward the kind of player memory. But usually you're kind of going to, at least in my experience, we've been going to locations. Oh, we're going to the Duke's residence. Oh, we're going shopping, or we're doing these things. And it doesn't seem to me to be real additive for me to do navigation, turn-based navigation, GPS style for streets. But of course, no shade if you like to run them that way. Let's just, I'll just hit another one. Right, so this seems to be, it's kind of a toned down version of Worldographer's city generator. Oh, this one's kind of nice. So it's on a lake or some kind of water. It's not telling us what those symbols are. We've got some docks. That's cool. And this one's on inkwellideas.com. One of their free tools. Let's go down to this one. Click on map to start urban development. This is at oscarstahlberg.com. Oh, I like it. But what does it do? Oh, interesting. Huh. So you start off with a particular, let me reset this. So you're going to click, it's going to give you a piece of a map, or not a piece of a map, a city map. And then you can click on areas kind of to develop it out. Whoa, that one went kind of crazy. And I guess where you pick, it's going to, what happens if I do that one? Interesting. Okay. Now, the issue with this one, can I right click? Is there any, am I missing a menu somewhere for this? Let's see. So I click on a small area, it's just going to fill up that small area. If I click on a large area like this one, it's really going to go, it's going to keep going. And then I really like the organic nature of it. But of course, the limitation seems like the only way I'm going to be able to save this is by right clicking. And I can't even right click. I can't even scroll this. So your best bet is to take that initial start, and if you like it, use it, but you're not getting, so a few things, right? We're not getting no options. So we're not getting walls if we want walls. We're not getting water if we want water. We're not getting different styles. We're just getting this one. It doesn't have any names or anything, which is good or bad. Sometimes I don't like the names that the generators come up with when I just want the city and I don't want all the nomenclature that comes with it. But this one, doesn't see anything like that, and you really can't interact with it all. And in fact, if you say, "Oh, I really love this," and you accidentally click, well, you're gonna get some more stuff. So it's pretty neat as an experiment, or just a little interesting, yeah, I guess just kind of game. But I don't know what the usefulness is. That's kind of neat that you can break up existing blocks also and put in streets. Of course, it gets kind of messy if you just get in there and just start clicking around. It doesn't seem to have much organization. It just seems very limited. It's kind of cool as just a proof of concept, I guess maybe is the best word. But yeah, it's fairly limited. Next up, we have back to Kassoon. We have a town map generator. Show advanced. Why? Of course. Okay, this is for premium. Oh, now I remember. So Kassoon is kind of freemium. It's got some features you only get if you, I guess, subscribe, or I'm assuming it's subscription. I think it's some kind of subscription, or maybe it's a Patreon type thing. So let's just go with random. And there we get this. Just an image. So we can just save it, which is nice. We do get stuff like walls, which for fantasy kind of games, we do like our walls. We get some roads coming in, though it seems like the roads they don't give us like this road right here just dead ends into a wall and there's buildings there, which is not, and this one too. So they don't really have a good sense. I feel, it's always like, you know what? I feel, what is that? Uh-oh. Oh, that's the house generator. Oh no. Okay, it opened a new page. Good. I always feel funny kind of being a little bit critical of some of this stuff because, okay, this is free. So if I want to say like, oh, well, you should have done this, it's like, well, I could do this myself. I could add it in, but just in terms of what you're getting, I think the one thing is it would be nice if these roads from the outside would connect into roads on the inside. As it stands, it doesn't look like there's really any roads given here. It's almost a bit of a maze. So it'd be nice if it had a main road structure. You'd think that if there's a main drag, you have the road that comes from the south into the city and up and leaves out to the north. One would hope that those would connect, and they don't. And there's no real logic there. There's just kind of a little open area here, which I don't know what that is. We do have some kind of structure. This looks, one of them, maybe this is a church and this is some kind of castle or other lordly manor, mansion. Not sure, but they're just kind of there. So it's cool, but I kind of think I would want to come back here and have to start doing work. And the problem with these kind of maps is if I have to start going in and monkeying with it and spending a lot of time, I'm going to end up saying like, why didn't I just make my own map? I know enough in things like Photoshop to be dangerous. So I could muck around, do this, but then I'd want to put a road in, and I'd want to connect these roads, and now I'm cutting off all these buildings and trying to, and then this. Sometimes you can do a good job with using healing brushes and things to repaint some of these textures so that it feels fairly seamless. But in these situations where it doesn't have a ton to work with, it's probably going to be goofing that up. So, long way of saying that in this form, and maybe I could hit a couple of these and get one that's got better road layout. It kind of loses out on that usability for me in terms of as an actual model, it doesn't quite work. And then it's not, if they had just given me something that was vaguer but just had districts and kind of main roads as opposed to all these individual buildings. Now, granted, you can take these individual buildings and go into the building generator, which is cool if you need it. I don't need it. But having these things like roads just butting up against walls and ending, and you have docks, and you don't have any really roads that kind of, some of them may go somewhere, but no, it's kind of like doing a funky maze. Don't make a ton of sense. But hey, it's free. You can always monkey with it however you want. And maybe if you go into the advanced stuff, it will give you more. It will give you more options that you can use. Do we have any? I don't think we have any. And I don't know. I was going to look for an example, but let's see. This is probably going to take us to some kind of pricing, or is it just going to spin us to nowhere? Kasoon, where are you sending us? Kasoon! All right. Kasoon is loading me to nowhere, so I'm going to leave. But you can go there, check it out. They got a bunch of generators. Oh, they have a Patreon. Very nice. Now we get to Chaotic Shiny City Map Generator. Using this generator, you also might find the Arena Generator useful. Cool. I'm going to probably pass on that for right now, but it's good to know it's there. Medieval Map Generator. It wouldn't be terrible if some of these put some instructions in here. You got a whole bunch of real estate, Chaotic Shiny. It wouldn't be awful if you said, hey, here's what you do. And it looks like they have a whole bunch of generators here. I'm guessing these are all generators. So go to chaoticshiny.com and really, seems like you can really dig in, see a whole bunch of stuff. But now that we're here, I don't know what this means. Small, does that change? What does that mean? All right, well, let's just create a city. I have no idea what those numbers mean. Okay, so it's, oh, is that like a spatial map? So it's a little grid. Okay. So it definitely would help to have some instructions. It looks like it's giving us a grid of, is that 4x4? And then it's just putting simply numbers in there for the districts. So in this case, it's a small city. So it looks like it's giving us this somewhere in the vicinity of, or no, maybe not, because I see these are spreading out. We get 1 residential district, 2 an academic district, 3 nobles district, 4 pleasure district, 5. And then in the residential district, I guess each of those districts, I think it's broken up. Boy, this is going to be, this one's a tough one. You know what? Here's what I would say. I like that it gives us the names. So in the residential district, we have the major street, which is Drake Road. We have some minor streets, South Archer Street, Viper Row, and Pony Way. Academic district, it also gives us some, we have some apartments. We have an inn, I guess an apartment, an inn, 2 apartments, an inn, a food shop, a midwife. What does an apartment mean in this? Because we have a house. So our apartments are in, I don't know, in our medieval type town, what would an apartment be? Would that be in a building? So is that 2? I don't know what apartment means in that one. what's different than a house. I'm not sure what the difference between an apartment and a house is in this case. Anyhow, we get the listings. See, because this grid thing on the left here doesn't help me at all. By the time I suss it out and figure it out, I'm not going to bother. But I do like these parts, which I think I could use a lot, which is giving me these, one, telling me, okay, we've got these districts. And this one at least is giving me space, I'm guessing a vague spatial relationship in that the residential district is in the northwest, the academic district is in the center northwest, or north, just to the north, and then northeast is the nobles district. In just east south of the nobles district is the temple district, and then south of the academic district is the pleasure district. So something like that I could kind of use, though in this point, if rather than this, just type it out. Residential district, southwest corner of the town, connects to these other districts. Give me something like that would be, I think, plenty. And then inside these districts, it is giving me contents, which I like. Okay, a couple of apartments. We got an inn. We got some kind of food shop. We have 2 midwives, a shrine, and a house. Great. Major, minor streets with names. Great. So that way, if I was playing this game or I was playing a game in this place, I could say, okay, yeah, you're in whatever the name of this town is. It didn't give us a name, but that's fine. All right, they're looking for somebody. They're not, I don't know. They're not a noble. They're a merchant. So it's like, okay, you start off, and I'm looking. I was like, all right, you're walking down Drake Road, which is the main drag through what seems to be the area where there's lots of, or it seems to be where people are living. And then I could talk about, okay, you see the food shop. Would be nice to get a name for the food shop, and then nice to get a name for the inn, and then so on and so forth. That stuff is kind of cool. And so the academic district, all right, Yellow Row and Tiger Row are the major and minor streets. Great. The Nobles District, you have Knave Street and Agate Avenue. Great. And then there's no major street in the Pleasure District, which kind of makes sense, but you have Cougar Street. I don't know if Cougar Street was what they were going for, but I like it. And then Sapphire Row. And then finally for the Temple District, we have some shrines, and we got some major, just one major street, which is Orange Street, and then some minor streets. All good, but yeah, I don't know. That, maybe this just hasn't been, when was this? Is there a, okay, well, they at least updated their copyright to be from 2022, but this definitely could use some updating, or just use it for the naming and contents of stuff. But still, hey, it's free, right? chaoticshiny.com. Now we're at Fantasy Town Generator. Oh, don't tell me I gotta create an account just to do this. Please don't tell me that. I don't want to. I just want to see one. All right, so this might be a non-starter because I don't feel like generating an account. Making an account just to generate a couple ones to show. Go to fantasytowngenerator.com if you want to check that one out. I will skip it because I don't want to make an account on stream. And then this is an oldie but goodie, a donjon in general. Get it. We'll just make a new town. We have Megrove. It's a small town. What does normalize mean? I still don't know what normalize means, but all right. We can tell it whether we want it walled, whether it has a river, what the culture is. I like that we can pick ancient, medieval, Europe, Asian, African, or New World. We get some population, we get the government, we get notable places, and a few NPCs. I think the only things would be nice, it would be nice to get locations on here for where these NPCs are, including, I do like those districts. The roads are awfully regular here. I imagine these, I would call these main roads. I think the one thing that's interesting is kind of similar a little bit to that Kassoon map, is these roads come through the walls. In this case, this is kind of very, I don't care, because it's not trying to give me a, photo real, quote unquote, kind of map. It's this abstracted. So that's fine. I just imagine there's a gate there. No problem. But then it comes in here and just gets into all these cells, like these Voronoi cell structures. And I would prefer, maybe, let me go on, is that, no, that's already normalized. Oh, I don't know. No, neither one seems to have any effect. You're coming in and you don't have any sense of it. Just you just get it. I guess what I'm saying is, if this makes sense, it doesn't feel like there's any relation. This big road comes from the outside, and there's just dead ends in these little smaller roads. And you wonder, well, where's the big road that's going all the way through the town that's crossing this river, which seems to have weird little divots in it where these things meet, as opposed to bridges. And then this doesn't meet, but it feels like it should. You probably have to clean up, but at least because it's so simple, I could easily go into Photoshop and then, or whatever GIMP, Microsoft Paint, and add in another line in there to indicate, oh yeah, there's a river there, or whatever. So definitely usable. They got the main stuff that I want. Probably the image could use a little bit of help, but that's probably the least important thing to me. That was at donjon.bin.sh. Now on to Dave's map. No, I'm not trying to do that, Dave's mapper. Here we're at the city map. Dave's mapper can do all kinds of stuff. You're noticing it looks kind of hectic because it combines. So Dave's mapper does what's that that method? It's taking a lot of pieces that have been drawn up. I forget the name of it, where they're basically taking tiles, and then you can put all the tiles together, are all made in such a way that you can put them all together, match them up, change them up, and you get tiles from all kinds of different artists. So you see often, if you just set it up like this, they're going to get all kinds of mismatched stuff. They should kind of connect. This one's a little bit off, but generally speaking, they have these kind of connections. So this should really connect with that one. But what you can do is somewhere in here, you can change the options. Is that it? No. Where is you can get set the tiles. I'm forgetting where it's been quite a while since I've been in here. Use. We got some grids. I thought there was a way to go in here and set the tiles. It's not giving it to me. Where is it? Oh, here it is. Okay, it's just down here. So in this case, let's see. I don't know who that is. Tony Brotherton. Which ones are his? Maybe their color. Let's just turn all of them off, but I don't know who Rhesus Monkey is. Make this a bit bigger. Let's make 3x3. But essentially what you can do is you can tell it to use only a particular artist, and then hopefully you'll get stuff that matches up a little bit. Now, this is not perfect because it looks like Rhesus Monkey generated a bunch of tiles and kind of changed some of their stylings between a couple of these. So you get something like this building, and then these that don't match. But the main thing is you're putting together a bunch of tiles. Maybe if we changed it to build a cat, let's see. Maybe theirs looks a little bit more unified in terms of styling. So very simple. You're just getting layout. You're not getting any sort of, you're not getting names. You're not getting identities. You're not getting anything. Similar problems, I think, to a lot of the other maps. Here you have one issue where this street just goes into the water. I don't think intentional. This one too. I guess it's the same. You don't get a lot of unity of place. I think that's something that like the Wataboo generator does pretty well. Geomorph. Thank you, David Bale. Thank you and hello. Yes, the Geomorph. You don't get the unity of stuff. I think I want to say Wataboo's does probably the better of the jobs like this. So, again, like I've been mentioning with some of the other ones, if we have docks here, you don't have any main roads. Like, you don't have a main road that goes anywhere. It just kind of meanders where you might expect there to be, or say the road, wherever the road from this, is that a gate? That's water again, I think. Whatever the main drag into town, you don't see that throughway that kind of comes through, goes to the important places. There's no concept of how maybe these districts fit together. They're just kind of jammed in there. Where, if they even have the concept of a district at all, which many of them don't. So you'd have to fill that stuff in. Again, for me, I'd rather have, even though that one generator just put together these weird numeric kind of grids of things. That one almost in some ways was the most helpful, just because I got all the components and the occupants of these different areas, which I appreciate. But it's going to be a big kind of, your miles may vary. I feel like the geomorphs, this kind of geomorphs approach makes much more sense with the dungeons. And now let's just go, since I'm here, to Dave's map where you can see the dungeons. It's got a whole bunch of people. I usually want to find one. Just pick one. I don't know who's got the most. Let's just pick those folks. Why not? See, it's got so many. There's probably a way to undo, cancel all the pickers, but of course I'm going about the wrong way. So here we can see we get a nice map, unified in style. It's not particularly sensical, but you have it. But you can do stuff like, is that rotate? Oh, swap. Build a map by this artist. Oh, remove and replace. Oh, that's cool. Okay, so I could do something like take this one. Oh, there we go. All right, cool. I didn't even really, I haven't, it's been so long since I've messed around with this. I've forgotten half the features. That is cool too. So I could go back here and say, oh, I really like, what's the style? I really like this style. And I could say, build a map by that artist. And then I just get that artist. Oh, very nice. Very nice. All right, Dave's Mapper. Underrated gem. Like I said, I don't see it brought up enough. You have to kind of be into that Geomorph, as David Bale let me know, reminded me is the name, to want to use it. But if you like that approach, then it's good. The nice thing about Geomorphs is that inside the Geomorph, they're going to kind of have that unity of the Geomorph. If that makes sense, that particular piece, each individual piece is going to make sense. So this piece is going to have sort of a unity of structure, whereas sometimes the ones that are just completely random, they don't even have that. Of course, the downside is, much like other things that are particularly random, from Geomorph to Geomorph, they may not really connect in the context. The connection should work because the whole way that you're making Geomorphs is that particular edges, for example, this edge here, these edges should match up so that you don't end up with weird roads into nowhere, except, on odd occasions when they don't. But, they don't necessarily have an overall unity of place unless you go in and kind of design it yourself. And this is hibiscus tea, iced tea for the working man. And of course, we're trying to avoid doing it ourselves, right? That's the whole idea. Are we on time? Oh boy. All right, so this is, oh man, what day are we on? That was, yeah, we're on day 23. I don't know if we're gonna make it through the whole thing. Let's see what we can do. Battle map on itch takes a while to load. Well, let's give it a shot. This is at pixelbrushio.itch.io called Battle Map. 2 P's, BATTLEMAPP. It is only slow to load the first time. I'm going to have one more sip here of liquid while we're waiting. It says it's a virtual tabletop. So we do have, there is a Patreon if you want to get access to patron-only pre-made maps, props, effects, and more. Switch between 2D and 3D. Generate flat terrain. Place characters, monsters, and animals. Open the building tiles. Can I get a rando? I just want a rando. Here we go. Oh, okay. All right. Let's go to so we get some pre-made maps. Whoa, what is that? Why is it so huge? I like it, but it's ginormous. Yes, I do want to delete all that. Oh, did I delete too much? Okay. A summoning, is this huge too? Oh, that's neat. We get some barracks. Very cool. Beer cellar. Okay. Furnace. Ruined hall. Is that not giving me a ruined hall? Maybe those are, I'm not sure if those are extras or not. Oh, let me zoom in here. There we go. Premium feature. I see. So the ruined hall and the cells are premium features. That's fine. Random is a premium feature. So we got our corridors. Oh, it's a beautiful isometric. That's pretty cool. Aaron's asked, they got a gazebo? They might. Let's see. Can we do the generators? Let's see. Oops. Here we go. Winter is coming. Sure. Summer. Oh, I see. Drag it. I'll do autumn. Map size. Tree count. Plant count. I don't know. I really don't know. Are those pro features? Can I do, say, 4 buildings? I guess so. 8 clearings and 3 paths. I have no idea what I'm doing. Holy moly. Okay. Oh, that's pretty neat. It definitely is battle map style. It would be nice to have some indication. I guess the sliders tell you if you're going extreme or not. Can I? I mean, it's pretty neat. I don't really have the need for this very much. Is this the flat terrain? Was this where my other terrain was, or what is that? Is that, or maybe that's a house? Is that a house? I see. Okay, I see windows. It's a little bit, seems like a little bit sluggish for me to move around. There's a doorway. Okay, so we've got, I think the interesting thing here, just stylistically, these don't really look like they belong in the same place. This looks like something from the, say, the American Southwest or somewhere very arid, whereas this other one seems like a ramshackle, something in a very wooded area. It's super cool. Super cool. Let's just let's delete this. Yes, I'm going to delete the current workspace. So that was a map. Now you don't get, it doesn't look like you can get your environment or your climate. So I can't tell it autumn, temperate, autumn, whatever. So, oh, I can't do random dungeons. Okay, random dungeons premium. All right. Well, this is very cool. This is on pixelbrush.io.itch.io. Let's go take a look at their Patreon. So they have a couple of membership levels, 450 or to 750 to 1450. This tier pertains to the in-browser version of Battle Map. And that gives you, okay, so if you want the downloadable one, it's $15 per month, basically. It's really nice. I suppose you could get into it. I wonder how it functions in terms of, is it usable? Does it have online only stuff? It looks like, however, so I guess it seems like if you're interested in this, you probably want that $8 a month, $7.50 a month, because it looks like development of the downloadable version of Battle Map is on hold while they're working on the browser version. So maybe not, unless you just want to support them, which is always fine. Not terrible if you're going to get use out of it. It's probably, it's not something I would use. It's a little bit too granular for my game day to game day usage. But if you're looking for something like that, it might be the kind of thing you need. Did I give it a thumbs up? I did not. That was Battle Map. Let's see. Anvaka City Roads generator. Give it an upvote. This website renders every single road within a city. Enter a city name to start. Oh, what would enter a city name to start? Oh, I don't know. What's the all right. This is from my campaign. Knobs Hill's name of the town. Oh, interesting. It's finding real places. Oh, well then forget. Well, let's see. What's a good Knob Hill? That, oh, Massachusetts. That's kind of. Oh, I don't want. Why? It's asking me for the boundaries. South Carolina. Let's try Delaware. I don't understand. All right, let's try. Let's try something different. There we go. This is. What's the boundary? Select boundaries below. I do not understand what it's doing. All right. I don't know. I don't understand what it's doing. I'm trying to get it. Let's do something small. Ronkonkoma, town of Islip is not that big. All right. Seems cool, but someone smarter than me can maybe get this to work. One more time. Norwalk, Connecticut, not a huge place. I mean, it's not that small. All right, how about city of Saratoga Springs? Nassau County. Oh, come on. Barnum Island. How big can you be? Oh. All right. Sorry about that. Anvaka City Roads Generator. I'm not even sure what I'm supposed to do with that, but it wasn't working for me. Hopefully it'll work for you. Check it out, even though my my foray was unsuccessful. It might very work for you. Very well work for you. Oh my gosh. All right. That's a whole bunch. A whole slew of generators. Okay, we've got Ghazi's. I'm not gonna hit all these. We've already done Wadabu. Have you done Ghazi's before? There's a new. Oh, that's for battle maps. All right. No, I don't want battle maps. Just you want dungeon maps? Have we got dungeon maps for you? You could use them with your favorite role-playing games, such as D&D, or just keep generating them to admire the artistry. Just me, huh? No matter what, you're bound to find something to help slake your thirst for adventure. And boys, has been around a long time. First comments are from 2005. All right, we want, yes, wandering line style. Not sure what that means, but medium map size, room density, say moderate. Max room, that's fine. Background, that's fine. Tile set, fine. Randomness, fine. So there's wandering. What's wandering line style? Let's see if we create this map. What do we get? We get that. Yeah, it's definitely old school. I think the one thing, if they were going to update this, it might be nice to get rooms of different, not just squares and rectangles, but that might be, it's probably a limit on that. What if we do the random room style? Yeah. Probably showing its age a little bit, but it gets very simple, very readable maps. And you could kind of pick your style, do your background. On white's kind of nice because then it's very easy to go in and strip out the background and do something else in it in your GIMPs, your Photoshops, whatever. So very nice, very simple, but nothing wrong with it at all. And of course, it's free. Is there anything else? Blocky but clean. All right, Fantasy Calendar has a tile-based dungeon generator. We'll just do this one. And then we'll move along. A little bit more hibiscus tea. All right, this one sees, what is that? It's a there's a certain artist, I forget, he did a lot of, I think, 4th edition, maybe 5th edition maps that had this style. For a while I kind of dug it. I'm kind of over it now, but there's no question it definitely has a strong look. So this is kind of geomorph, so you can change the shapes. Oh, that's kind of nice. Doesn't have a lot of options there. Definitely limited options. But at least you have some options. Can't change that. Can't change that. You notice that you are getting repetitions. So yes, of course I can go through and fix that, but you only have 2 of those, right? So even within that, you're probably going to end up having some, I guess that's some repetitions. Kind of inevitable. That one's got 3 at least. But still, nothing wrong with that. So what kind of options do we have here? Dungeons, caves, limit unique rooms, height, weight. All right, let's see. The mega dungeon maybe seems. Oh, we got different levels. Okay, so you can, if you want it, if you need multiple levels to your mega dungeon, you can do that. Very nice. Any limit to how many? Just keeps going down. All right, that's cool. And you can, let's see, this does work in Map Tool, Foundry, Encounter Plus, D20 Pro, and Roll20. I don't know what some of those are, but it works. Ian says it's pretty cool, but wish there was more than 2 geomorphs for connecting rooms, and a limitation with geomorphs. There's so much empty space in between. Yep. Taryn says, but plenty of space for notes. Yeah. Yeah, some of these, because you can't add, I mean, you can kind of change this stuff up, which is kind of cool. But yeah, it doesn't look like there's any way to say, hey, can I add a room in here? I mean, on one hand, it's not bad because I feel like you don't have to fill in all the space everywhere. But yeah, it's you have limited ways, limited options to edit it. And this style is, if you're gonna print this out on paper, boy, you're get ready to keep refilling those ink cartridges, because take it into work and print it out for business. Wink, wink, because that's a serious drain on the paper. I'd kind of wish they would maybe have a simpler style for if I was printing this out at home. But it has a nice. I mean, if you like that look, it's a nice look. Like I said, there was a time where I was really into that kind of look of the dungeon, but I've kind of gotten over it. But still, it's not unattractive. Ian says, I feel bad for the players trying to use disintegrate stone and mud to get through the dungeon. You find notes. Yeah, it was the notes left by a wizard who's saying, stop doing this. I did this for miles and didn't get anywhere. Though I think if you're going to go to that point, Ian, I would hope that the players have a pretty good idea that there's something there before they started viewing it. Like maybe from here to this, that's doable. Maybe make some sense. Or from here, I mean, I don't know. You would just walk down the hallway, but if you're just in this room and you decide, oh yeah, I'm just going to try to tunnel my way over here, I mean, you better hope there's something. I don't know. I think that's one of those things that I would only deploy as a player if I was relatively certain that there's maybe a secret door or something else, or an area here. And of course, you can always add one in later. But that's dungeon-generator.fantasy-calendar.com. And I know there's more here, but I'm gonna skip them. Oh, wait a minute. Hold on. I gotta see this one. Dungeon will generate. This is at dungeon.app, DUNGEN.app /DUNGEN/. Dungeon will create high-resolution dungeons ready to use in your favorite virtual tabletops. Take a look at the frequently asked questions for help. If you like it, make sure to check out their Patreon. All right, so we have a seed, which I don't care. We have some styles. Let's see, original. Maximum size, fine. Standard for tiles, fine. Roll20 dynamic lighting. We can do multi-level, which I'm not going to do, but I will do special rooms. It's in beta. It says players get pretty certain of a lot of wrong things. That's true. I don't have any sympathy for that, really. Get it wrong, get it wrong. All right. It doesn't look magnificent, but maybe with the dynamic lighting and everything that's already built in for Roll20, that would be pretty cool. What kind of style? What's stylized gray? I don't know if I like stylized gray. Paper white. Paper white's kind of cool. Not a really good way to zoom in here. All right, so notice not getting any. Well, I mean, this is so. I guess the thing is for this one, and maybe the other one too, is these are more for your battle map play. So they don't have doors. They're not numbered because you're going to be plunking this in Roll20, and presumably you're going to be moving the party around, or the party's going to be moving themselves around, so you're not going to want to have room numbers on them. And maybe even at that point, doors don't matter that much, or you would put the doors in. Is there like a door object in Roll20 or Fantasy Grounds that you can plunk down? I don't know, but I'm guessing that's what you're doing. So that's the kind of the focus. All pretty cool. Maybe a bit limited if you're not using it in terms of a virtual tabletop. But hey, there's nothing wrong with it. That was done, Jen. I gotta pass on because we got limited time. And gosh, I feel so close. Day 26. It's a question. People asking, so he's asking for what people's favorites are. Maybe I'll pick one from these. Is there one? Let's see if there's one that gets more mention than others. All right, that's actually okay. They didn't get that much. Wow. Duncan_chaos. I feel bad. You didn't get a lot of responses to that one, but it makes it easy for us to skip over spaceship maps and spaceship generator at roll generator. All right, let's check it out. Oh, I didn't upvote. So we get a random spaceship generator. I know someone who was here last time. Thank you. I just want to do this. All right, I guess I got to accept your cookie policy. Is that necessary? Random spaceship generator. Just randomize it. So there's a bunch of random generators here, by the way. Someone was looking for sci-fi type stuff, so here's definitely some sci-fi stuff. I like the layout. Name is Cold Colonial Ship H481. It's a system ship, and it has 1,001 metric tons, which makes it a large ship. You've got engineering, and I like the cool graphics for the, I guess, your engines. Medical, some cryo chambers. Oh, those are, I guess these are all cryo chambers, but then you get some secured ones. We get another medical, so we have 2 medical facilities. I wonder if the secured cryos where those criminals, the criminals that are insane, that somehow are traveling with a population of librarians that are then going to get unleashed at the worst possible moment. Batteries, cryo gas, which is a nice touch. Which one's the lower level? Which one's the upper level? Doesn't say, but we do get descriptions. It's a cold ship because it's a slow ship created to travel the stars in a time before the discovery of ultraluminal engines. Unlike generational ships, these ships have cryogenic passengers and leave navigation in the hands of the ship's artificial intelligence that decides the course to follow to their destination. The whereabouts are unknown, and it is doubtful that they will be able to achieve their goal through orbits. We've got the crew. We get some shuttlies. I guess that's probably shuttle launches. It's got a subluminic combustion engine 11, I should say. It's got onboard computer with a library, evasion control, and some assisted maneuvers. It has LiDAR, radar, detailed surface scanners, conscious intelligence, a droid crew, and some anti-kidnapping protocols. It's got 250 passengers and 21.5 tons of additional cargo. It does have an advanced energy shield. This one is pretty cool. I was going to do one more. I'm just going to breeze by it really quick. I just want to kind of see it. This one is a cryogenic colonial ship. BJP-46. It's also a system ship, a bit larger than the other one. Also very nice. This has a dark matter engine 13, still subluminic. And its autonomy is 998 years. Really neat. Really neat. If you want some ships, spaceships, rollgenerator.com may be your place to go. All right, I'm going to skip blogs and resources. We got some more dungeon map generators. Dave's Mapper side view. Dungeon oubliette. Look at that. Kassoon. We've seen a couple from Kassoon already. We've got, let's see, a roguelike dungeon generator. I've already looked at Inkwell Ideas a few times, so let's just take a look at the Endless Oubliette. Is it just going to keep scrolling me forever? Looks like it is. Oh my gosh. Well, this is really cool. Well, this will give you all the dungeons you could ever ask for. The only problem with this, and this is really neat. Okay, I'll have to say it's cool, but how do I print this thing? How do I get it off of here? There's no commands. There's nothing. I can't see anything. It's just gonna keep making more. But how do I get it out? I think it's kind of a nice, what is it? Proof of concept. But what am I supposed to do with all of that? Goodness, goodness. But it is cool. That was the endless, or just got oubliette.bin.sh. I can feel the end is near, so I'm gonna hustle through here. We did inkwell ideas, so I'm gonna skip over them, and then I'm gonna do final map tools and resources, all the rest. I'm not sure what that is. So this is Duncan underscore chaoses. Is this their personal favorites? Map creator at Roll for Fantasy, tile-based continent world creation. We'll take a quick look at that. Modern city block generator, chaotic shiny map generator. We saw that. Generic world map. Endless RPG. That's a software thing. I'm gonna go skip that for right now. Dungeon Alchemist, AI-powered map generation on Steam. I'll just take a look, but it's going to be beyond the scope of this. Axebane's index card pocket maps on drive-through, map decks on drive-through, Nortantis fantasy map generator. You have to have Java 10. I'm guessing that's, I have to download it, so I'll skip that for right now. All right, so I got just a couple of maps, and then we are done. Okay. So this is map creator. I guess, is this, what is this? I don't know what any of this means. All right, I'm just going to look at the sample. So this is at rollforfantasy.com/tools/map-creator.php. I'm just going to look at their samples because it seems like it's a little bit complex. So on this top one, we have planning version. Everything is placed roughly where they want it to be. So they have a rough kind of island map. They've sort of figured out where their mountains are, some hills, some woods, some just kind of plains. I'm not sure. Those maybe water, some more woods, whatnot. And then the detailed version, they added in rivers. They went through and added in more detail in the woods. It looks like this might be swampy area down there in the southeast. And they added some bits to the islands. Okay, that's cool. I think there's one more example. Then here we get, oh goodness. So this one, there's no real explanation. It's definitely pretty rough, but you do get a sense of the kind of climates and biomes, but it's not very attractive. That was, shoot, I closed it by accident. That was Map Creator. Dungeon Alchemist is a AI-powered map generator. You can get it on Steam. Oh, I think I've seen this one. You just kind of you just sort of give it some space and it'll just break it out for you. Pretty neat. Just add rooms till you get what you want. Once you have a room drawn, you can easily update its theme. Oh my gosh, you can even zoom in and start scaling and moving objects. That just seems way crazy. You can get orthographic maps, perspective maps, full 3D. I'm kind of curious, do we have any samples of what a bigger map would look like? I'm not sure. So this one's on Steam. Dare I look to see how much it is on Steam? $44. All right. But that is really cool. I mean, it's beautiful. Not quite my use. I don't really have much use for this. It's too pretty. You're too pretty, Dungeon Alchemist. But hey, I might have to come back and try you a later time. But that's Dungeon Alchemist. And that is it. Boy, we made it. A little bit more. Oh, Ian, you backed it. So Ian, what are your thoughts on Dungeon Alchemist before I close up shop on here? Have you gotten in? Have you tried it? Oh, he says he thinks he backed it. So it makes me think that maybe you haven't actually played it yet. I might have to check it out. I'd love to see some more. I'd like to see some outputs. I'd like to see some images that are, here's what I did with Dungeon Alchemist. And I hope it's got, see, the thing is, I guess one of my problems with, you get all these amazing 3D tools. And this looks like an amazing 3D tool that you can obviously use two-dimensionally if you want to, top-down mode or whatever mode you want. But if I have just a very simple map with simple icons, I can have icons for all kinds of stuff. Torture chambers, necropolises, or would that be necropoli? I don't know. Anything I want, I can make. A evil cleric's temple, a weird magician's underground upside down tower, whatever it is. And the symbology and everything is just, because it's just squiggles and some lines, very easy. And the theming all comes from my head. Once I start trying to build them out in a textured three-dimensional style space, suddenly all that stuff I need new textures for. I don't want my necropolis to have the same kind of tiled stonework as the weird wizard, or just as your generic dungeon, or as your goblin lair. You know, suddenly I need everything. I want different tables. I want different chairs. I want different everything. And then the amount of assets you start to need starts to build up. And then it's either, well, I got to be spending money for additional tile sets, if they even have them, and they might not. And then I feel like I have something that I'm not happy with because it's not giving me that look and feel that I want. When I was just putting down just a simple two circles to indicate, you know, one wide oval and then maybe a little bit another oval to indicate that it's a chair, a seat with a back. I didn't care about any of that stuff because it was so abstract. It's like, okay, that's just the seat I want. But once I start giving it a defined form, then suddenly those things they become concerns of mine, and then ends up being maybe a little bit limiting, because then do I not put in something I want because I can't get it to look the way I want? So instead of getting the map that I want, I'm really compromising on that map because I'm missing the asset, if that makes sense. And then for me, since I'm not showing these things to my players anyway, going down those rabbit holes and trying to do that has very limited usage for me. But of course, if you're playing in your virtual tabletop, and if you find something that has a robust enough asset set, either that you can buy or supplied by third parties or just in part of the base, then of course it's cool. Ian's now looking for a Steam key. I might have just reminded you, Ian, whether to look for your Steam key. So yeah, look for your Steam key. Let me know if there's interest in this one of these tools that's more in depth. Then I'll try to dig into it. Maybe I'll figure out if I can get a Steam key or purchase one or whatnot. But that was it. 31 days. We did it in 2 shots. Hope you found some generators that are worth your while. I will try to add links. I'll go back through and try to add links to all the ones we went over. Maybe I'll do kind of a master list, a master list on either in my forums or somewhere we can check it out. But that's all I got, everybody. Ian, now that you've installed it, glad I got you installed. Let me know how it is. Let me know how it is if you think it's something worth coverage in more detail. Other than that, folks, if you give a thumbs up on your way out, that would be awesome. If you found yourself in here and you're not subscribed and you feel like subscribing, that would also be awesome. Otherwise, have a great rest of your day or night whenever you end up watching or listening to this. Game on, and I'll talk to you later. Bye, everybody.